So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to be looking at the IRA program. And so let's go to the website, Kingdom Talents, and we're going to go to the header where it says Storage, IRA and Affiliate. And then we're going to go to where it says IRA program. So, you know, the IRA program is just such a great way to help people in these end times. And as an agent, it's really where you can earn some good money and good commission from it as well. Because there are many people throughout the world who are aware that we are approaching some very difficult financial times. And when there are difficult financial times, people want to hedge in gold and silver to protect their wealth. And this is where, you know, when people have stored up their wealth for many, many years in an IRA, and it's at the whim of the markets and how the dollar is doing, there is already quite an education out of there where people, you know, want their IRAs to be in gold and silver. They don't want to take the risks in the market. They would rather have that insurance. So if the markets or the dollar just rapidly dropped, that they would have that nest egg in gold and not in paper currency. So many people are already aware of it. So as we were looking at the word that we should study to show ourselves approved unto God, as workmen not being ashamed, we need to understand how these IRAs function within Kingdom Talents. It's really important as an agent to know every single page on the website. And if there's anything on that website you do not understand, you need to ask your sponsor, the person who brought you in, the questions on this. And if they don't know, then you can come to somebody higher up or come to us. So let's have a look at the page. IRA rollovers into precious metals. So it says that we specialize in this, which we do. It's a great way for people to invest in precious metals through retirement accounts. Now, the first thing you need to know and to be able to communicate to people is that, you know, this really is a simple process. You know, it is not very hard. And so they want to know about penalties, whether there's going to be a penalty doing this. And of course, there are no penalties. And there's no taxes associated with moving your IRA into precious metals. So no penalties and no extra taxes. And their gold and silver is stored in a safe place and fully insured. Number 3 here, it says there are no lawyer fees. You know, some companies, when they're helping people move into precious metals, so they're often helping themselves to a bit of it on the way. And they do that with lawyer fees. So with Kingdom Talents, there are no lawyer fees if they ask. So one of the most time-consuming aspects of establishing a precious metals IRA can be the researching of custodians and the depositories. Well, we've done that work. We've done it very carefully. We've researched the custodians and the depositories. And, you know, this was really quite a task, you know, because we were looking for the highest quality companies with the best prices, and we've obtained that. Some other programs cost a lot, double, triple the amount that ours does. And looking for custodians, you know, part of the research was looking a little bit into the background of the people involved. And one of the big companies was based in Las Vegas. I thought, that doesn't seem quite right. So the company we use is Kingdom Trust, and they're based in Kentucky. Christian folk, and they're very pleasant when you call them to ask what to do. And the prices are great as well. So let's look now at the 4 easy steps to setting up your rollover. And, you know, when I'm speaking to a client, what can fog somebody's mind can often be that I'd like to know a little bit about it, but in fact they can often be put off by thinking there's a lot of work involved, and yet they need to do it. And sometimes people put things off, and so one of the things I'm very clear when I say to people, I say it's really easy, and there's only 4 steps. And just saying there's only 4 steps can make it, especially for the elderly, easy to understand. And so we've put the 4 steps here as the first one is to open an account with Kingdom Trust. And it says by clicking here. So that's all you have to do is click there. And John's just clicking for us. And here it is. Very, very straightforward. And so this can all be done online. And you can either help them do it or they can do it themselves in the comfort of their homes. So let's go back. They can contact Amberley Rose. And we have the telephone number here. And this is really important, where you don't need to know everything. But what you do need to know is how to get the information. So Amberley is an expert in this, and any questions your clients have, just direct them to Amberley, and she will look after them. Second of the 4 easy steps, when your account is ready, you ask your current IRA company to liquidate the funds and transfer them to Kingdom Trust IRA. And that's a very simple thing to do. And again, if the client is having a little difficulty with it, Amberley will be quite happy to go on a conference call with their present company to help them, do that, to accomplish that. So that second step's done. The third one, it says work out the details of your gold and silver purchase with Kingdom Talents. And that's where we will work out what they would like, what proportions they want, whether they want it all in silver or they would like a little bit of gold with it. Whatever the client wants is what we would do for them. It's better to be in silver at the moment, but always serve the client what they want. And when and we would do that for them. So on a phone call to one of the staff, they will go through with the different prices, and then that will then be locked in, and then it's authorized. And that's a very straightforward step. And one thing to remember, if you're asked, is that these talents are manufactured particularly for those people. And so that those manufacturing, the price is locked in on the invoice, even though they're manufactured later. Often the manufacturing cycle can be up to around 8 weeks when it's going to be done. But the very day that they authorize the invoice, they're locked at that price, so they can not have any concerns about gold and silver going up or whatever the movement can be. They've got their price. Now, number 4, Kingdom Talents. We mint the talents and then ship them to the depository. And that's all the 4 stages. And it can't really be much more simple than that. So next we have the fees. And it says click here to view an explanation of the fees. So can we do that, John? Now, as it says in red, this is not an alternative to the Kingdom Trust official fee schedule. But this is, part of what we found and put here so that we can explain to them the different costs. The first cost is to establish the account, and this is a one-time fee for $50. And this $50 is going to Kingdom Trust. All of these fees are going to Kingdom Trust. They don't come to Kingdom Talents. Kingdom Trust is working as a custodian. They're a custodian for the client, looking after all their purchases, looking after the storage, looking after the reports to the IRS. So they have a $50 fee to start up. And then they have annual fees. And the annual fee to run their account is $75. That's how much Kingdom Trust charges. And then the depository fees, can you see it says non-segregated and then segregated? Well, the non-segregated is $125 and the segregated is $250. And this is a good thing that we've done, is that we've managed to be they've classified all of the talents as a classification in the depository. And what that means is that we've been able to heartily recommend to the clients that they can have a non-segregated account. They don't need a segregated account. And let me show you what I mean. With a segregated account, if you put these 5 talents into the account and it was segregated, then when you took them out of that account, you would get these exact 5 talents back. But because we're working with our talents being kept as an item within the depository, what I mean by that is that it is a separate item called Kingdom Talents, Silver Talents, Gold 1 temps. So in that case, you may put these 5 silver talents in, and you may get a different 5 silver talents coming out. But it doesn't matter, because we know the purity of all those silver talents and the gold talents. We use the highest refining that is practical. For the silver, it's 0.999, and the gold, the gold talents for the IRAs have to be a minimum of 0.995, and we manufacture them to 0.9999, so pure 24 karat gold. So it would be the non-segregated account that we would recommend. And so there are other fees, like a transaction fee each time there's a purchase of the precious metals. And there's a wiring fee when Kingdom Trust wires a fee to us for the invoice that we prepare. And at the end, there's a full cancellation and partial cancellation of the accounts. So roughly each year, the client would be expected to pay around $200. And we can see from the examples that it'll show how that works out. And so that's so it is 9 o'clock now, and so we're going to stop for now until our next webinar. Lord, I just would like to pray for every affiliate and agent that is working with Kingdom Talents to build your kingdom, Lord. Lord, we want to see the churches protected in these end times. We want to see the individuals protected. We want to see people's wealth insured. And so, dear Lord, I pray that you would bless every affiliate and every agent in their work, and that each one would receive from you blessings through this endeavor. And I ask that in Jesus' name. Amen.